Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of rokrbox TV. My name is Josh Cunningham. I'm the founder and CEO here at rokrbox. We've got another wonderful client success story to highlight today. I'm joined from Colorado Springs, Derek Wagner from the Artisan Group. How's it going, Derek?
Great, Josh. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Certainly, Derek. Well, we are very honored to have you on today and appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedule to share some of your success with us and with our audience here. Before we get any further in the story here, I'm going to kind of put you on the stage here and let you tell our guests a little bit about yourself. I know you just told me that your first day selling real estate was September 11th, 2001. What an odd day to step into this industry. But why don't you talk to us a little bit about maybe what that day was like and then what the last 20 years have been like in your real estate career?
Yeah, so first day, September 11th, 2001, which was obviously terrifying. We were worried about the direction of the country, where we were going to go, if homes were going to sell. I spent a couple of days just kind of mourning and just kind of getting our feet underneath of us. And then it was a very intense time, but I had put together this marketing plan. Back then, we didn't really have the internet. We had the internet, obviously, but we didn't have the internet as we know it today.
Mm-hmm.
And most of what we did was, real estate books, direct marketing, newspaper ads, mostly all print. So I decided, and, building relationships. And so I went out, built a lot of relationships, put together some fantastic marketing pieces. And we went from zero to no sales to zero all the way through April of 2022 or 2002. And then all of a sudden the market kind of said, you know what, we're going to start buying and selling again. And so I closed 36 transactions from April to September.
Wow.
That first year, just built on, print marketing and the relationships that I had. And then we continued to, grow. And then I got to about 48 transactions a year in three years. And I found, man, this is kind of my max. I read this book called the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book by Keller. And
I think I've heard of that book before.
It's a fantastic book. I'm dyslexic, and it was really tough for me to get through it, but I read it 12 times. I implemented the book. I built a team. We were the #1 team in Colorado for many years.
Wow.
And then, we decided a big team wasn't for us. We wanted more of a smaller ninja team, which we have now developed, which is
nice.
A really fantastic little group of folks we got.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the background there, Derek. Tell us a little bit about your path with internet leads. When did you finally start getting into the world of this new modern day internet that we know of and generating some pay-per-click leads and getting all these cold prospects to opt into your website?
So I think it started for us in 2006 with Active Rain.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife loves to blog, and she starts blogging, and then we just learned how to work SEO. And we were the #1 website in Colorado for any major search term. And we were, by 2007, I believe, we were the #1 website. We are not now. Zillow was nowhere to be found. Truly was nowhere to be found. Realtor.com was nowhere to be found. So we were the authority when it came to organic search in Colorado Springs. And we were getting gobs and gobs and gobs of leads. And we started, I think, really soon after that. We were drowning in leads. I'm going to say mid 2007. We decided to get an ISA company. They're still around. They're in the Philippines. I can't remember the name of them. Anyway, we had My Outdesk. Thank you.
Yep.
So we had My Outdesk working our lead to speed. And we did that for about 2 years, and our conversion went down significantly. So we decided, but our time went up, our time freedom went up, but we weren't converting at the level that we were. So we then switched to somebody here locally, here in the Springs, that was helping us out with conversion. Our time went, our conversion went way up.
Mm-hmm.
My training, my ability to work with this person, my life, the life was sucked out of me. I'll just
Mm-hmm.
be totally honest with you, because it was almost a full-time job just managing an ISA.
Yep.
And I essentially just was done with that by 2014, and in part because, no, it was 2015. A big part of that was just, now where we're competing with Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, our own board for the same first page. And quite frankly, if you're not on the first page of the home search, you might as well not even be on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So we then started, not even focusing on leads from the internet. Really, we just went kind of a different direction, which was great. And we were working referrals with Keller Williams and other companies, and it was working fantastic. But then we decided, we found an amazing pay-per-click kid from our past who is amazing. And we started re-engaging with pay-per-click. And so this has been now for 3 years now we've been doing this, maybe 3. And he's amazing. We get tons of leads again. But then we notice, boy, we can't get to the speed to lead is lacking. And again, we keep coming up with the same thing. It's like, you're either having great success with conversion, or you have the life sucked out of you by training these ISAs, right, or dealing with the ISAs. So so we still do, a lot of pay-per-clicks, but we now have you guys who have stepped in with a fantastic system. So I think we ended up getting Boomtown to feed our leads into Boomtown. And we were referred to you, and you guys have a fantastic system wrapped around Boomtown. And I felt like we just plugged and played. It was like instantly we were getting call transfers. And and I don't have to train anybody. You guys train us.
Yep.
So that's kind of been our journey with the internet leads.
Well, that's an amazing journey. Thanks for sharing that with us. And it sounds like this isn't your first rodeo. You've definitely been around the block once or twice, and you've been around, this whole internet lead conversion game since before it really even got popular. And there's always an interesting statistic I always share with people, and it's the number of registrations versus the number of closings. Because back when you kind of got into this, you said 06, 07, or the early days, there were actually less registrations than there were homes that were sold. There was just a couple million registrations out there, because essentially that was the internet traffic. Not everybody went to the web to start their home search back in 06, 07. And so if you got those people coming to your website and registering, that was basically proprietary information that you owned. Nobody else knew that Mrs. Smith is inquiring online to look for a home. And then what happened, we've seen this crazy evolution over the last, decade and a half of all of these companies, these wonderful companies, Boomtown and Commissions Inc. and all the other, CRMs that have followed to create more traffic for people. And so that's what a lot of these agents are buying. They don't really realize you're just buying traffic. You're not actually acquiring a client here. And that actually, there's some work involved in there. There's now estimated hundreds of millions of internet leads that are sold every single year, but there's the same number of transactions. It's
5 million transactions.
4 to 5 million every year. That's it.
Yeah.
But now there's 125 million leads being sold for those same number of transactions. And so that creates a great sense of confusion for people, frustration for people. Why don't you walk us through kind of your thought process and even your annual planning that caused you to seek out rokrbox and put this system into place to kind of free up some of your time and make your life a little bit easier?
Yeah, so when we went from large team to small ninja team, we noticed the need to really do some yearly planning, monthly planning. We do quarterly planning, monthly, and obviously we get together weekly. But really to get on the same page as each other, we decided we do a yearly retreat, and we go to the mountains, go to, a Gaylord resort. You have Gaylords there, correct?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, or wherever we go there for 2 days, and then we spend a third day putting together our goals, and we get really in touch with our why. Why are we doing this? What is this? What is the meaning of real estate for us?
Mm-hmm.
And for the last many years, we've been grinding out, just crushing it, crushing our goals. We're small and mighty and just very, very productive based team. And then we decided last November, in 2020 we had the pandemic, but we also just crushed it. We wanted to hit $1 million GCI for the three of us who are the producing agents, and we missed it by $1,200. It was soul crushing. It was soul crushing. And we decided, we spent a lot of time. We wanted life freedom, and at that time we had reached out to rokrbox, but we really wanted more time. And rokrbox really helps us get there. You're not so stressed on the speed to lead. You can take your time with your client, be present there at the moment. But we were, so we did our retreat for 2021, and we decided, we want more time freedom. We don't want to focus on our numbers this year. It's the first time I've ever in my whole career not focused on my GCI every day. And we focused on our health and prosperity, and our time freedom is
That's
what
awesome.
we did. Everybody on the team. As a matter of fact, right before this, I got a call from one of my agents, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to London for my birthday." And so she's I think they've both gone on 5 vacations this year. Wow. Or will be 5. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, so that was kind of our retreat for the year, and we just spend 3 days really focusing on what this looks like. And this year, and by the way, this year we haven't focused on our money. I was in the office, and one of my agents came up to me, and she says, "Hey, where are we at GCI wise?" I was like, I've no clue. Where are we? She's like, "I think I've been doing some numbers. I think we need to check that out." And we're at 1.1 million for the year.
Wow, that's awesome! Congratulations.
Yeah.
And we still have the fourth quarter to play, right?
We do. We do.
That's awesome. I mean, you said a lot of things there, Derek, but the most important thing is finding that why, finding that meaning or that purpose. Because for some people, it is chasing dollars, it is chasing numbers, it is chasing statistics, but to each his own. It's important to know that you have a purpose when you get up every single day and you get out of bed. We like to say at rokrbox, our purpose is to move people forward. It's obviously that we move people forward through the sales pipeline, by calling all these cold leads and handing off the hot ones. But the impact that work makes on the lives that we get to interact with, the agents on the teams, getting to go to London, getting to go to these, wonderful vacations. You yourself being able to grow your business. You've done more business this year than you did last year without even focusing on that. And then here in our world headquarters, it's an awesome purpose that we get to see as well, with all these callers behind us. All of our callers are students at Texas A&M University, and this is the first step in their young professional career, and they're building skills and experiences here that will set them apart from their people that they'll graduate with, and it's going to lead them to multiple job offers and getting to skip entry-level positions because of these experiences. So whatever that why is for you, that's what you got to be following each and every day. There's so many different paths to success. You just got to be able to wake up every single day and be comfortable with the path that you're choosing to walk. So I love this 3-day planning session that you've got going on. Can you dive a little bit deeper and just kind of give us maybe a little rough agenda of what that exactly looks like? And do you do that yourself, or do you have somebody facilitate that for you?
This year was going to be, I haven't told them this yet, so I hope they don't watch it. This is going to be the first year I'm flying somebody out to meet with us. But it's been me facilitating it every year. So first day, we really kind of connect. We typically have a good morning and we just connect with each other, and have some moments, and then we do a silent few minutes, 10 minutes or so, and we kind of go through an exercise, and then we have a stack of cards with words on them, like authenticity, money, I think we've got a couple hundred cards. We all go through the cards. How are we feeling about our values, and where are our values? And we kind of do our personal values. Where do I feel myself at this year? And then we do that as a team, and we always come up with about one or two of those. We all kind of are like, wow, this is who we are at the core. And then we go through our why. This is our core. This is our values, and here's our why. How do we align the two together for the year? And so the first day is finding our values. Second day, or first day-ish, is values, and then but sometimes it spills into our why the first day. If not, then the why is the second day, and we really kind of dive into the why. And what does it mean for us? And if we can't get to our why, if we don't accomplish it, what is that going to mean for us? Usually lots of tears. So we have, so that's, and then by the end of the second day, we usually come, okay, so as a team, where do we see our numbers? Where do we see our health? Where do we, and how can we hold each other accountable? Then the next day we go, okay, here's our goals. This is what we said we wanted to accomplish, and this is how we're going to hold each other accountable.
That's awesome.
For the goals.
I love it. And you're doing that again this November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
then we
amazing.
do a mid-year retreat. Slightly, it's different, but it's mostly goal-oriented, and like how, where are we at? How, what are we missing? What are we hitting? Where can we do better mid-year?
Yeah, it's so important to, take that time away and kind of escape the office and get away from the daily grind and the daily hustle to really reflect on, the human element of life and business. That's that we're people, and you get into business to create freedom in your life and to, earn and achieve the things that you want to have and that you want to share with your loved ones. And I think that's just an incredible practice. I really am excited to hear that. That's something that you've been involved with and continue to see return on in that investment. So what's next for you, Derek? What do you see as some goals or some dreams or some visions for the next year? The last quarter, you've already got a record year on hand. So what are some of the next things that you see in store for the Artisan Group?
Well, we are going to expand this year for the first time in many years. So we're going to add some, adding new agents. We got some in a 30, 60, 90, as we call it here at KW, is a kind of a dating phase to see if we're good fits for each other. So we're going to expand this year. We're going to add some more lead generation. We're connecting. We're really on purpose about building our sphere of influence moat. We're just getting in deeper relationships with our database. And we're going to continue to allow rokrbox to give us the hot internet type stuff as we just build our relationships deeper with our past clients.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, what would you have to say to anybody who is, maybe considering rokrbox or trying to look at some more information about how they can free up some more time in their life and, not have to deal with all these cold internet leads and just have the opportunity to work with hotter internet leads? What have been some of your biggest takeaways that you'd like to share with our audience here?
I would say number one, I've always had the worst onboarding experience with almost every company that I've worked with. Onboarding to me is my greatest anxiety, and it will make or break my relationship with that company. And first off, you guys are phenomenal. Everything that you said you were going to do was actually done.
That's awesome.
And I had a little checklist, and it gives me, like I said, anxiety. And, I got to check off less anxiety, check off less anxiety, which was really, really great.
We love to hear that.
I'm a control freak. It's just that, I'm expecting what was said to be done.
Yep.
And when it doesn't, it's very disappointing, because then the result may not be there, what I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
So huge kudos there. I'd like to say that.
Thank you.
And I would say, certainly, if you are having, in my world, if I was a single agent and I was getting about 30, if I was getting 20 leads per month, I would hire you. Because at that point, you're not doing your job. You're not able to get to them. You may do that 1 month, but that's it. That's all you can do. That you can only get speed to lead on 20 leads, and that's being generous too. 20 leads, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. At month 2, you're drowning in leads already, and then it just gets exponentially more out of hand. Yep. And then you don't have a life. Your wife doesn't know who you are. She makes dinner and then it's cold on the table and you still have to call old leads and your dog hates you. That's that's the real thing.
Yeah.
So so if you want time freedom and some leverage, I think it's a very inexpensive way to get a lot of leverage in your life very quickly.
Yeah. Well, we love to hear that, Derek, and proud to be the leverage to provide you the freedom to spend time with your wife and your dog and to eat that warm meal when it gets cooked at dinner time. And I really appreciate all the feedback as well about the onboarding process. And we do put a lot of time and energy into making sure that, we're always under promising and over delivering because we know that you never get a second chance at that first impression. So that's why we're a fully transparent organization. All of our work is done inside of your CRM. You get to see all the calls, all the texts, all the emails. And then lastly, before we go here, why don't you talk a little bit more about your interaction with your ramp up coach, Kelsey, because that's another resource that we provide. Not only we are making all the calls back here and logging all that stuff in your CRM, but we meet with you regularly to make sure that all the work that we're doing to make your life easier. So I know you were talking with me before we got online here. Yeah.
She's a rock star. That girl is amazing. Every 2 weeks we have an accountability meeting outside. It's nice because I have my accountability meetings with them, but when she does it, it's next level. Like always the day before, we're like, I get the text, oh my gosh, rokrbox is tomorrow, our ramp up meeting. And all of a sudden I'm getting pinged to death that, everybody's in the CRM recalling people, getting it kind of reorganized. Even if she didn't hold the rokrbox ramp up meeting, just having it there just gets everybody in line and gets them motivated enough to clean up their CRM so they don't look bad for her.
Yeah, that's great. Just kind of like having a personal fitness coach. You just got to have that outside influence to help you stay accountable to reaching your goals and dreams. So, well, glad you're enjoying that, Derek, and we're very excited to be partnered in business with you, and excited
as well with you guys
for another record year coming up soon. We've got a lot of viewers from coast to coast here, Derek. If someone has a referral, they've got a client either moving in or out of Colorado Springs, how can they get a hold of you to send you a referral?
Yeah, they can either email me, Derek at artisangroupco.com. So Artisan Group, my name is spelled DEREK at artisangroupco.com, or you can call or text me 719-210-5258.
Awesome. Great. Yep. Well, Derek, as always, appreciate your time. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy schedule to share your success with us.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're excited about the continued success in the future.